Tab, the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel, NBA legend, joins the show. X-Man, I appreciate you joining, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How's it going, man? I was just talking to Matt Barnes about you when I was on his show a couple weeks ago, man. All the smoke and shit. We were talking about you, about the NBA, how it's falling off as far as the toughness. You kind of in agreement with that?
Yes, I'm in agreement with that. I think that you got guys making excess of $50-60 million, and the Joker's going to get a big contract this season, all season. So you got all these guys making a lot of money. So yes, a lot of the physicality as far as fighting is out, which I mean, it shouldn't be no fighting anyhow. I mean, but we're people, and people going to get into disagreements. But I just think that when you got a product and you're paying that product, you got to be able to protect that product as much as possible.
No doubt. That's what they're going to do. It's like quarterback play in the NFL. You can't really touch them anymore. They're getting paid so much money that, man, it's kind of getting, I guess it's fragile as we've ever seen because the money's so crazy. We were just talking about college, how it's going in college football. These kids leaving, opting out for more money in college now.
Right. Man.
The portal and the NIL money stuff. I just got to get your take on it real quick because college football, college basketball is becoming professional. Have we taken away the fabric of the sport when we're doing this? Like, have we lost the roots of this and chasing money is not teaching these youngsters how to develop tough skin, competitive. I mean, I just thought the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball was the absolute, that was where we wanted to go.
Right.
Now, it seems like we're allowing college guys to get paid so much money that the NFL and the NBA is not the biggest thing anymore.
Right. It's going to be a bittersweet thing for me because, man, with the numbers I had, man, I'd probably get about $10 million a year. I didn't have to go to the NBA. But let's just be honest. You wake up in the morning at 7:30. You go to school till about 11:30. You go have lunch. You come for basketball practice, 2 hours plus. Well, my college coach, we started at 2 and we end at 4, no matter what. Then you got hospital visits, school visits throughout the day that you go to throughout the time. You put in a lot of work and a lot of time, and not to be compensated a little bit. Maybe they're being compensated too much, but think about the European players. They're playing at 15, 16, and they're getting free housing. They're getting money. So why can't the American players do it? So to me, it's kind of bittersweet because it's bitter because I wasn't able to get that, and the way the NCAA is, people don't realize when I was in school and a lot of these old heads, or we're old heads now. So after the game, these kids get fed after the game, right? Myself, ask Cliff Livingston, ask any guy. Once our game was over, you had to feed yourself. So you didn't have an opportunity to go back into the cafeteria and eat because the cafeteria opened up from 4:30 to 6:30, something like that, 7 o'clock. So from 7 o'clock, you go to a game, you got a game and you play and you come home, you got to go feed yourself. So that means you're spending money.
No doubt. No doubt.
And so it's from that standpoint, these kids get to eat before the game, they get to eat after the game. It's just a lot more easier. They're on private flights. But they put in a lot of time and effort, man. I'm not mad they're getting the money. I'm just mad we wasn't getting it when we were playing, but that's okay too. But I mean, I don't see why people will be mad that these kids are earning a living. Now, if you're a college student, what are you doing? You go to school and you work. Unless you got some rich family that you're from, and you don't have to do that because 9 times out of 10, you're probably going back into the family business. This was a very successful business, So I don't understand the outlook. I just think that they should have capped it off with everybody. You know, football is the king, and then basketball, then women's basketball, and it trickles on down. And I think it should be based on the sport and what's coming in, because when you look at it in 1985, 84, 85 season, I was coming through. We had this section because we had alphabets on our section, and so they had the X section, and the X section had jerseys, and you walk into the bookstore, they had these 34. I wasn't able to get compensated for none of that. So I'm not mad that the kids are getting compensated. It's just that uh, I just think it's the amount of money that I think is very, I mean, what they said, the number one kid for BYU got $5 million coming out of high school. I mean, why would I worry about going to the NBA? You know?
Does that affect your mental though, as far as like X coming, we coming up, we don't have shit. We're trying to make it to the league. That's our goal.
Right.
That's where we know the money is. Now the money could be right here in college without even suiting up yet. Like this Nico kid got $8 million leaving high school here in Cali to go out to Tennessee, and now he wants more money, so he's left. Is that like messing these kids' mentals up? Because they're 17, 18, 19. They don't even know how to change the oil in a car, and we giving them, you know, Lambos. And I mean, I just think there's got to be, to your point, there's got to be some, because this ain't NIL. And my former teammate Ed O'Bannon is the one that started this whole thing.
Right.
And like, this ain't NIL, it's pay to play. And you just said it. They had a whole X section, and you didn't get a dime from it. This is what it should have been about: jersey sales. It should have been about, you know, memorabilia, autographs. It ain't about that. It's pay to play. And these cats are hopping all over.
I just think that you got to find, the NCAA has been wrong in a lot of things they're doing. Like, for example, you talk to any old head. I never agreed that when you transfer, you should have to sit out a year. I think that the way they aligned the scholarship was a 1-year deal, renewable. They never said it. Then you start getting coaches to say, oh, it's a 4-year deal. That's how they was able to keep their scholarship when a coach told you. I was told it was a 1-year deal, renewable for every year. So if it's renewable every year, why can't I leave? Coaches can leave, but players can't leave. They made it difficult for the players because they knew the players were making the money. So they tried to keep them, you know, at one university. When I just think that if coaches was able to lead, the players should have been able to lead. Maybe not go with that coach, but possibly go to another school. Because why did you go there? You go there because of those coaches, those assistant coaches, those head coaches. You know, you get a relationship with them from the time they start recruiting you. You only visit the players for one weekend if you're not from that city. Now, if you're like, for me, for South Carolina, someone who knew Zam Fredericks and a lot of the guys who played on that South Carolina team, that's different. But when you're going, and like I went to Memphis State, I had been dealing with the coaching staff for Memphis State for 4 or 5 months. You get the ideal sense that, hey, these guys like me and this and this, and you start having a relationship with them. And so when they leave, why shouldn't you be able to lead? I just think the NCAA, you know, it's been all about making money for the NCAA and not for the kids.
No doubt. And that's interesting you brought it up, because I've been harping on the coach and the player are two different people. I mean, coach has been doing it, let's say 20, 30, 40 years. They should be able to get a better job if it's a more high paying job.
Right.
And the player 17 to 21, he's got to like earn his stripes, so to speak, in my opinion, as player and coach perspective. But here's the thing, coaches, at least now, I didn't know about when you were back at Wichita State or not, but at least now they got to pay a lot of that money back if they do leave and take another job. We saw the kid at Maryland take
they wasn't doing that back then. I mean, think about it. Rick Pitino done been damn near Rick Pitino done damn near been to every school in the NCAA. You know?
So you're right. That's interesting. You brought up the scholarship thing, because I do remember signing scholarships, and they were year to year. They were actually
year to year. You had to sign your scholarship every year. You still got to do that, but you get a coach in now and say, "I got you a 4-year ride."
Yeah, yeah.
But when I was coming through, they told us it was 1 year renewable. So, I mean, let's think about this right here. And me and my wife talked about it a couple of times. And one of the big things was, okay, I'm an athlete, I'm a freshman. And we just talked about all the things that I did. I done went 4 years, I got my degree, but what I didn't get, I can't even find a damn job. Why? Regular students are able to do internships. Athletes are not able to do that. You got weight training, you got community service you got to do,
Study hall.
you got study hall, you got school, you got so many things you got to do,
And
and
we couldn't get
also
a
try to
job.
have a social life.
And
But
we couldn't get a job at the time.
right, so I know a lot of guys that got their degrees, and the NCAA did not help them get a job afterwards because it's so many things to do. And I think that's been another thing too. So these, regular students are able to make money. They may not make a lot of money doing internships, but they are able to make some type of income to pay for housing. Once you finish your 4 years up, they give you last game, family come out. They tell you, hey, he's graduating in May, and not one booster offer him a job.
Hell no. Yeah.
And so a
The
lot of
import
this falls back, and this is a part of the NCAA, is I don't know how to correct it. It may not never be corrected, but guys who get degrees in business and they can't get a job because they haven't had any they haven't done no internship or with nobody to be able to say, hey, I'm qualified to do this. You just got a piece of paper saying you can do it.
And nowadays, the kids getting so much money, I'm worried for these babies that they're going to go from. A lot of them are playing at 4 schools in 4 years. Where's their degree coming from, and what tie do they have to that alumni or poster?
Because they're not getting degrees.
Hell no.
I'll be very surprised is Haley Van Lith has a degree from TCU. She done played at Baylor, TCU. She done played at like 4 schools: Louisville, TCU, and Baylor. 3 schools, I think it is. Oh, and LSU. Not Baylor, but LSU. She went from Louisville to LSU, and then LSU to TCU. So she played at 3 schools, and you got some a guy. He was from Washington State. He played at South Carolina, Wichita State, Washington, and he played somewhere else. God, what this kid name? But it's some kids that are doing that. Kids are not getting degrees. They're chasing the bag, and in our society, what we want to talk about all the time is the bag. All on YouTube, the bag. Hustle Cartel, the rappers. Everybody's showing the amount of money that they have created, and the kids are following right along with it. Now the problem is, I'm waiting on the IRS to start hitting some of them in the head because they're not putting that money away, and we hadn't seen that yet. But it usually take a few years for it to start coming up.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad Dion and them type of guys like that are teaching this financial literacy. I know Eddie George started doing it. A friend of mine who's coaching now D1 football, and he's starting to do the financial literacy because he handled a lot of NBA's people's money and shit, and it's like important. These young cats, I'm just hoping they don't fumble the bag once they do have the bag. Let me ask you something about your college days before we dive into this NBA stuff. Before you get out of here, I appreciate you coming, brother. I got to ask you. When you were at Wichita State, obviously they had football at one point, then they got rid of it. They didn't have it, and I'm surprised they never had football again. I thought they had a football. They had a nice stadium right there on campus. Yeah. I coached in Kansas for so long that I've heard all the stories, and I know a president was trying to, Koch brothers or whatever, were trying to get football back, the 2 billionaires there in Wichita, and it never came back.
Right.
In the NIL era right now, without a football team playing at the college, the money you would have got, Xavier McDaniel having your X section and all that shit with no competition in football, it would have been crazy, right? You would have made tens of millions of dollars.
Well, yeah, but unfortunate, I made 0. So I know a lot of people always say this and that about Wichita State. Oh, y'all got put on probation and this and that. But a lot of that stuff happened before myself and Antoine and Cliff were there. A lot of those things happened in the 70s, and they went way back. I think most of the allegations were when I was in like the 7th grade.
After
And I
the
got
plane
put on.
crash, right? After the plane crash and everything.
Well, that was the probation I'm talking about. The plane
Yeah.
crash was in the 70s too.
Yeah.
And
70
but
years.
they still brought the program back. Coach Willie Jeffries got it back, but then some things happened, and then Coach Childress, I think that was his name, was my junior year. I think that was the last year, my junior year, the 83-84 season. I don't think we had it our 84-85 season, my last year. But whatever it was, we were on some probation type stuff and for football and once it was gone, I think they talked about it for a minute, but it costs a lot of money to have a football team.
No
So
doubt.
a lot of money. And you're talking about starting over as a I think if they would have did, they should have started off like an NAIA and kind of worked their way up over the years and had like maybe a 20-year thing to be able to get back to being a Division I football team.
Nah, no doubt. I wish they had it, man. I do. Let me ask you, man, about the current state. You I think, were the 4th pick overall, the
Right.
Supersonics. Do you think Seattle will ever bring it back? Bring a team back? Are they going to expand? Vegas, maybe Seattle. I don't know, but do the Seattle Supersonics deserve to have a team still or not?
Yes, they deserve to have a team. Ain't no doubt about that. Just got an article from a friend from Seattle, and Gary was talking about it. Be very surprised if Seattle. What other team in the United States would have one outside of Seattle, outside of Vegas? We know Vegas gonna get it because you got the football team there, you
Yeah.
got the baseball team there, so we know Vegas getting one. I think Seattle would be that team. The fan base is just so strong that they would get one. Unfortunately, GP didn't even talk about. He talked about. I was his teammate too, but I hear him talk about a lot of guys. But I'm original Sonic too. Wasn't traded there or anything. He was like, "Oh, Della," and I love Detler. Della's a good friend of mine. It's some other guys that helped made that organization to where it's at. I wish that it get a team. I'm hoping that they get a team and bring back a lot of the guys that helped make that franchise so good.
No doubt. I've been seeing all these different folks from that team get on podcasts and talk about the league and the current status and your era versus their era. And I saw Draymond Green and Baron Davis. They do a show and they were starting to talk. They were talking about the respect factor. And
Right.
Baron was like, Draymond, you tripping. You got to respect the people that came before you. They paved the way for what you are now making in this league. And Draymond's like, well, respect is earned, and I don't respect you if you don't respect me, blah, blah, blah. Where are you
Right.
at with the current state of the NBA as far as we know what the load management and all this other shit has happened in the NBA, but where are you at with the eras? Like, is there even a discussion? Can you even talk about, the Dennis Rodmans of the world playing when you guys played with Shaun Kemp and all that? I saw Shaun Kemp go on Matt Barnes and he was talking about, man, Rodman beat us, not Jordan.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're ever going to say Draymond beat us, not Steph Curry. I think it's a different era.
Well, it's definitely a different era. In the mid '80s, and I played to the late '90s. The game was very, very physical. When you come to
I think you might have got a call, Bailey. See if we get him back. He probably got a phone call. Yeah. Interesting to hear what he has to say about the generations. Listen, man. I know. Yeah, Draymond would. Here we go, Bailey. You there?
Can you hear me?
Yep, got you. Probably got a call or something, huh? You hear me? He probably got to reset his phone. There we go. Yep, got you. You hear me? Uh-oh. trying to get him back in. Appreciate everybody in here right now. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know, the phone ring and it just
Yeah, technology with me, I'm the same.
yeah. So my era, the game was physical. You had some tough guys that playing. I mean, really tough guys. And do I really like the fighting? I'm gonna say no, but that was just the era that I came through. You had to fight for everything. You get a swollen ankle. You played on that swollen ankle. And today, kids, what I've heard, I don't know. I would have to talk with one of them. Um, if they got a sprain, they categorize it 1, 2, 3, or 4, and they don't even play till they're 100%. I didn't have many swollen ankles. Had a bunch of bad knee problems after I got hurt, but I mean, I like these guys, so I don't know where Draymond get it from. I like these guys. I think they're fantastic basketball players. Uh, I'm trying to understand their terminology of basketball, like our terminology of basketball. Um, they're bigger, they're stronger, they jump as high. You know, everybody jumps in today's game. Everybody wasn't like that, when I played. I mean, you had some jumpers, some Roy Hensons, people don't remember back in the day. It's a lot of great players that got injured and kind of fell off and stuff for whatever reason. But I don't think Draymond understands that people gonna just take that side, but I don't take a side. My thing is being that whatever era you played in, you can play in any era. Because what's the greatest thing about people? Put them on an island with nothing.
By
They
themselves.
will adapt. That's
Yeah.
the greatest thing about people. They will adapt. You don't have to know nothing about living on an island, but if you want to survive, you will adapt. And so it's the same way with NBA. If you put uh, Shaq, not Shaq, but Wilt Chamberlain in any era, it's gonna still be Wilt. I mean, things have changed. When I was coming through, they would label you as being soft because you're not playing through injuries, and then they'll trade you off. Today, guys get hurt, and they don't even come back until they're 100%. When I hurt my knee, I played on a torn meniscus, a torn cartilage under my kneecap, and tore some other cartilages on the side of the knee. And I played from January all the way until we lost to the Denver Nuggets in the playoff. That's why I walk around here with a limp. And when you see a lot of the old guys, we all walk like we've been in the military fighting wars. So I can understand where the older guys coming from, but I don't think nobody disrespect these guys. I mean, I'm happy because I tell people all the time, when I got traded from Seattle, I wouldn't sign the contract that Seattle offered me. They offered me 3.2 million, and I didn't take it because I knew Jerome Curtis just signed for the exact amount, and I didn't want to be. I felt like my value was more than him at that time. So I go to Phoenix. They offered me a contract. I didn't sign it because they tried to lowball me. Jerry Colangelo tried to do it without David Falk. Then I go to New York, and I'm still betting on myself. But these guys controlled the players back then. They try to control them. And so what I like about these kids is KD is controlling everything he wants to do. A lot of these guys, they're doing a lot of things that they want to do, and the teams don't deal it. They ask to be traded. Before you get that stigma like what I did, and then all of a sudden now you go from playing 35 minutes a game. You look at Phoenix, I was at 29 minutes, New York 28, Boston 28. So they could control you a lot better. And what were you going to do? I had ML told me one time, and I wanted to kick his ass because he told me, if you don't stop talking, I'll ruin your career. And I have never liked him since then. I can't be in the same room with him. I can't even say what I would do because I don't want to come off a certain way because I'm 61, about to be 62 and
Man,
2 months.
you look good, brother. Let me tell you.
You know, so I mean, it's a situation where, you know, I think guys respect them. They may not think so, but I think guys, because guys got their opinion. I think you gotta, just like you got your opinion, you always hear these guys talking about, well, I got a platform. I mean, technically, I don't give a shit about your platform. If you can play, you can play. It don't matter what era you can play. You know, I think we all got to get off that, because I know when I came in the league and I was getting $750,000 a year. Don't you think the older guys were talking crap about me? I just went out and played my game and did
And
what I
that's
had to
yours.
do. And when
Yeah,
someone challenged me, I stood up to them.
no
Simple
doubt.
as that.
Let me ask you something before you get out of here. LeBron James, the legacy that he has, the longevity that he's played. Shaq came out and said some things, and he was like, "Man, I think this is catering to his favor because of the league and the style and how it's become more soft than when you guys played." Is Shaq right or wrong as far as him being able to play this long and being this good this long, or is he just a specimen and he is who he is?
It could be all above. He could be.
He got a call again. See if he comes back to wrap it up. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. First of all, the chat. I don't know. Some of you motherfuckers kill me, dog. Like, let's have a grown man conversation. Let's bring him back. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it could be both ways. I mean, think about it. The physicality is there. I'm watching the game and I'm watching college, and I'm sitting there like, man, we be talking about the physicality. Man, the college is physical, the pros is physical. It's just that they just shoot a lot more jump shots. But when they do go to the hole, it's kind of physical. So, I mean, it's also luck that he's never had a serious injury. Like me, I never missed a game in high school. I never missed one in college. I didn't miss one until Olin Polynice fell on my leg when I was with the Supersonics, and we were playing the Jazz during the 87, 88 season. He fell on my leg, and that's how I got hurt. Up until then, I had never missed a game. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where, well, missed a game because of injury. I should say it, because I think I missed one game in college, but I was eligible to play. But I think I missed one in college. I got a DNP my freshman year. But other than that, it's some luck. It could be. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I hear he spends a lot of money on his body. So I don't know. But I mean, to play 22 years, you see Kareem played 21 years. Vince Carter played 20. So I mean, some things that can happen, you know, and there's a lot of it got to be luck. But I mean, I respect these guys, and I think that a lot of times people look at the money and what they did and stuff, and we just go back and forth. You're gonna have some people. I just think Draymond need to relax and understand that he could play in the 80s. He could play. Now, one thing about the 80s, he wasn't gonna be doing all that talking. He gonna have to throw them hands. You gonna talk. You gonna have to throw them hands once or twice. I mean,
No doubt.
I mean that's just the way it was in the 80s. You're gonna throw them hands.
When Draymond was young and Ron Artest pressed his ass, shit,
Yeah.
and that was he was still young. So I'm like, it would have been way worse when you guys, you and all the Knicks teams, shit.
Yeah.
Let me ask something real quick. What would you tell this youngster, man, John Morant, if you could give him a piece of advice?
Well, you know he's from my hometown, my home state.
I know.
He grew up from my neighborhood to where he's from is about 35 minutes. It's in Sumter County, and I'm in Richland County. But I grew up going towards Sumter. So you get in a car, you could be in Sumter County within 30 minutes.
Hell
right?
Yeah, a lot of talent, boy. A lot of talent. I recruited.
I mean, I'm like a lot of guys. You got to blame that on T. His daddy got to be able to sit down with his son and tell him, "Hey, you can't do that stuff." But T is trying to be on TV too and trying to be a superstar. Yeah. And I like Ja. He's a fantastic player, but I mean, it got to come, you know, with the parents telling him to cut down some of the antics. But you know, when you that big provider for your family, then it's hard. He wasn't like my daddy. You don't want to know what some of the things my daddy would say. You know, I mean, people don't realize most men, like my dad, was a man's man. I'd be like, I don't need shit from you. Just take care of your fucking mama. I got a job. I got 2 motherfucking jobs.
Hell
That's what he's always tell.
That's how
And
our
you talk
daddy
to
works.
anybody that know my
Shit.
dad, he'll tell you, never
Hell
took
yeah.
probably anything from me. I gave him a truck one time, and he finally said, thank you. That's about the only thing I gave him. Hey, get that shit to your mama. I don't need shit from you. So, but he's
Hell yeah.
all on front row. You don't never see the mother,
No.
but you see the father all the time, man. I just think that you need to sit him down and
Drinking and all kinds of
yeah. You want to be like Usher and
yeah,
stuff.
look like the motherfucker. He looked just like him.
Yeah,
Shit.
but
He had a porn star there the other day. I'm like, damn, dog, what's going on? Yeah, I try to say it, man. I said there's a difference between a father and a daddy. I said this cat want to just be the homie. It's something's
he
up.
want to be his friend. He wants to
Yeah.
be his friend.
No
And
shit.
unfortunate, man. And I don't know T. I mean, my family, my dad's from South Carolina, but I don't know him. I never met him. But I think that's where it's got to start with, because, we can get some people around us and to influence us the wrong way. And
No
he
doubt.
needs to get a control of that, because, I mean, keep getting suspended the way he's getting suspended, and doing some of the things he's doing in some of the lawsuits is berserk. But, hey, that's his family. So, I mean,
Yeah, each his own.
who am I? I'm just a
Yeah.
61-year-old man that formerly played in the NBA.
Hey man, you're a legend, brother. I appreciate you coming on here, man, and it was fun to watch you play back in the day, man, and get yours and do some great things on some great teams. So it's a pleasure to have you on. I gotta hopefully get you on again. Anything you got going nowadays?
No. I'm just I'm not in South Carolina right now. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. Hey, I love South Carolina. I tell people all the time when I recruited it in football for years, per capita, the most talent-rich area in the country. And
I've been saying that. I've been saying that for 40 years. And I've been saying it for 40 years. And the recruiters start coming. My high school teammate Tyrone Corbin and myself, I think we put them on the map. Nobody from the Big Ten came there recruiting until a guy named James Hildebrand that played with me and Ty in high school. I always called him the Godfather. He the one that brought the recruiters in, and me and Tyrone took it to another level. And now you got Kentucky, Villanova. I mean, you got everybody in the country coming down there. And Zion took it to another level with his high flying dunks.
No doubt. Hopefully he gets back right. Shit.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, man, I appreciate you, brother. Good luck.
All
Stay
right.
healthy, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thank you. Anytime.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right.